And, it's Thanksgiving, Hey, we gotta enjoy. So everybody happy to be here, man. Yes, sir. Y'all asleep for real. Let me see if we can wake y'all up, man. First, y'all know my name is Daydream again. I'm an overcomer. Also a reverend. I attend church at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. Very grateful to be here. Didn't intend on speaking tonight, but my co-laborer, she felt kind of ill. So, hey, that's what we do. Teamwork makes the dream work. As long as we carry the message, we're going to be good, all right? Let me start with a word of prayer. Father God, we come to you right now, thanking you for your humbling mercy, your grace and your mercy. God, I pray that something will be said or done that will inspire someone to change and seek you. So let the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. It's in your darling son, Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all may be seated. All right. Thanksgiving. Oh man, Thanksgiving is really kind of shaky for me. You know what I mean? If some of y'all heard my story, most of the speaker, please. I lost my mom and my grandmother around Thanksgiving in 2018. My grandmother died that Tuesday. My mom died that Friday. I buried my grandmother on the 17th, buried my mom on my birthday, which was the 24th, this past Sunday. And, sometimes when it comes to Thanksgiving, I used to get kind of sad a little bit, still do, but now I got tears of joy. You know what I mean? Because now I can get in the kitchen and cook a little bit. I can do my thing. I still jam my Frankie Beverly when it's going on. But it took some time for me to actually let go. And so I wouldn't have to mourn too long and be sitting in sorrow. Like if I could have been a better son, or maybe if I wasn't drinking, maybe if I wasn't smoking, maybe if I wasn't running the streets, maybe they wouldn't worry about me a lot. God always works in mysterious ways. And their passing actually woke me up. But check this out though. It didn't happen when I wanted to, because I was still out there real bad. But when the light came on, what you see is what you get. And in recovery, man, the first rule of recovery says you don't recover from an addiction by stopping using. You recover by creating a new life where it's easier not to use. And that's hard. It's hard to try to do something new. Anybody remember when they was trying to ride a bike and they were getting taught to ride a bike? Man, you remember how many times you fell off that bike before you even took the training wheels off? Man, when I had scarred knees, scarred legs, scarred head, I never could get it. But when I finally got it, I had to switch it. I had to get rid of the fur first. So once I got rid of the fur, I was able to ride a bike pretty good. But in recovery, I really didn't know how to be clean. I had a fur. I really didn't know how I felt. I really didn't know what I'd do. I really didn't know who I would hang with. Cause I'm like, man, I'm from the cliff. I'm Day Day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Day Day. Ain't no I don't want to be sober. I don't want to be bored and not doing nothing. So I always found reasons to stay low. Missing out on everything, man. By the grace of a loving God, I'm glad I chose to be clean. And there's one Bible verse that sticks out to me for these holidays, man. It's actually a whole chapter. Psalms 23. Anybody know Psalms 23? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me down the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. See, we love that last. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, believe it or not, I used to recite that chapter everywhere. On the block, in the club, in the trap, in prison, in Louis, in Tarrant County. I would always recite Psalms 23. What I'm trying to say is that I'm very grateful that my grandmother instilled that in me as a youngster. You know, like Curtis mentioned, we know it's pretty different religions. Everybody don't follow the traditions of Jesus Christ. However, I'm a ride or die for JC, man. I love him to death. He changed my life. He changed my walk. He changed my talk. And I don't never want to impose him on nobody because he didn't impose himself on me. However, if you ever want to get a taste of what Jesus do, man, you're looking at a mirror. I am very grateful, man, because my grandmother, you know, that's why I tell people, I say I started doing drugs at 12, but I think I started doing drugs around about 3 or 4. But my grandmother drugged me to church. She drugged me to Sunday school, drugged me to BTU, drugged me to choir rehearsal. If the church was open, I was there. And unbeknownst, y'all, where that front door is was the church. Where that door is was our house. So my grandmother was like, go to church. I didn't have to do nothing, walk up to the church like that. But when I was young, there was also a candy house that was up the street that also made church fun go to the city. So, but man, in recovery, it says, if you don't create a new life, then all the factors that brought you to your addiction will eventually catch up with you again. You don't have to change everything in your life. But there are a few things and behaviors that have been getting you into trouble, and they will continue to get you into trouble until you let them go. I'm not going to ask anybody how many times you've been to homebound or how many times you did that. I'll keep it on me. I got 5 felonies, 6 misdemeanors, all started from 1996 to 2017. I did 6 years on Ferguson. I did a year on Wilma Hutchins. Man, I was in and out. To make a long story short, I was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, right? Why? Because I didn't want to let go. Didn't want to let go of nothing. My first time when I got caught, I'm gonna make tonight fun, tell y'all some good stories, man. There's always gonna be some healing in it too. My first case, I was working at a telemarketing company called ATC. If anybody was familiar with telemarketing, you know, the people that call and get on your nerves, I was one of all the top sellers. So while I was at ATC, I introduced the streets to ATC. So I started selling weed. So as I'm selling weed at ATC, I get in a car with this chick that didn't have no lights. Or one of the lights was out on the back of the car, something like that. So we coming through South Dallas, we get pulled over. I'm nervous. Oh man, you know, I really don't know what to do. So I started stuffing weed everywhere. I took my wallet and I put my wallet under the seat. So of course they say, get out the car, get a car. We get out the car. We dressed to impress. You know, back then when you was doing telemarketing, you had to wear, you know, your good clothes. So he said, yeah, where y'all coming from? We're like, we getting off of work, you know, doing this. He said, well, you have any ID? I said, no. He said, so what's your name? I said, my name is Nathan Bryan. So he go over there, he look. I said, man, we can't find no Nathan Bryan. We don't see a Nathan Bryan. What's your birthday? I said 11/25/76. He said, man, we can't find nothing, man. Let's search this car. So we sitting over there on the curb. He said, man, put your hands on your head, man. I said, what happened? He said, man, here go your ID, here go your bank card, here go everything. So I get downtown, I still don't get the weed charge. He just mad at me because I lied. So when I get downtown, you know, you get the book in, they booking me in, everything, they pat me down, they don't find nothing. So they tell me to strip. So they tell me to strip. I take out one side, dumped out the dime bags on that side, take out another side, dumped out the dime bags on that side. Man, so $20 got me out of jail. Reason why I say that because that was the day I became a real live street dude. Cause that pre-trial release and how I got out just like that, it made me curious, like, is it this easy? As soon as I got out, I was ready to really get it in. 17 years old, got caught by a couple $100 worth of dimes, says got out $20. Oh yeah, let's go. I'm thugging. Yeah. So it was hard to let go because man, the devil made it seem so easy and always made it seem so good. It seemed like everything wrong started coming my way. All kind of ways to make money. I hadn't even graduated to the bad drugs yet. Just dealing with marijuana, I couldn't let it go. Then when I made it to the dark side, it got even worse because I couldn't let go. It's like the more you try to hold on to your whole life in recovery, the less you would do. Avoid high risk situations. One thing we got to know in recovery, and as we're trying to overcome anything that we deal with, we ourselves are always high risk situations. Whatever your situation may be, whatever drug you may choose to do, whatever alcohol, whatever got you in here tonight, whatever got you to keep going back and forth, and whatever you're doing, you're a high risk situation. You know what I'm saying? If you got to come out your pocket, if you got to call somebody to come out their pocket, you got to take out work, and you got to do all of the above, you're a high risk situation. What we don't want to do is accept that. All we got to do is accept that, I need help. I got a problem. Like I told y'all last week, remember the movie Life Just Can't Get Right. That was me. Couldn't get right. That whack was on me, man. That powder was on me. I just couldn't get right. I'm talking about I kept messing up because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be a part of something. I didn't care what it was. Gang, dope, something. I wanted to be a part of something because I felt empty on the inside. I really didn't know. It says, how can you avoid high risk situations? Of course, you can't always avoid these situations, but if you are aware of them, they won't catch you off guard. And you can prevent little craving from turning into major urges. How do you do that? How do you tell somebody you can prevent that who've been doing drugs since they were 12 years old? How can you tell them that? How can you tell a person that? How do you prevent it? You know how our parents or somebody that care about it say, well, you need to just stop. It's easier said than done. How many times somebody done told you stop? Just stop doing that. You need to stop doing that. Stop doing that, stop doing that. I done heard stop so many times. You need to go to the rehab so many times. I say that's just like preaching to the choir. I don't know how to stop. How do you stop? Tell me how to stop, and I will. Tell me. Nobody could tell me. All they can do is just look at me and shake their head and say, boy, you need to stop. And step one says that we admit. Them two words right there. We admit. When you admit, it's like throwing up that white flag and surrender. When I think about holidays, man, and when I was locked up the times, it gave me a time to reflect on where I was messing up at. When I was in Ferguson, man, man, y'all, oh man, the Thanksgiving meals that they had at Ferguson, them be wisher meals. Cause you really don't know what they put in their food. Then you be like, man. And once I started working in food service, I'm like, man, we really be eating this stuff. But none of us really think about what we doing when we doing it. Even when we get in them situations, man, they make it so comfortable. Like, man, I can still do this. Still, they say in the rooms, they say, if the drugs don't get you, the lifestyle will. That's why you be, man, I can remember on days with them holidays, I can remember I can get a hold of like 20 cheeseburgers, wrap up some cheeseburgers, sleeve of cheese over here, sleeve of cheese up under here, walk down the run. All kind of stuff I used to do because I was still thinking with the same agenda as I was about outside. You know what I'm saying? Man. And I'm really I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm really grateful that I'm clean today. And I don't mind stirring sometimes because I sit back and I always reflect. I don't relive, but I reflect. And I know sometimes it might not fall on the right ear. I know some people just be ready to go. I speak at different places. But if we as a people would just take the time to admit that we were powerless, admit that our lives have become unmanageable. That's the hard part, is admitting that we powerless, man. I can't control it. And sometimes it ain't got to do with drugs. I can't control what happened to me when I was young. I can't control what my cousin did to me. I can't control what my boys in the hood did. I can't control it. So my mind is messed up. You know what I'm saying? And the more that I sit back and think about it, it never was the drugs. The drugs were just the swords. It was always something on the inside, something that I knew I had to deal with, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know until I got me some help. I didn't know until I started working some steps. I didn't know until I started talking with people who were kind of like-minded and been through the same situations that I've been through. Never knew, so when you admit that you're powerless of your addiction and your life become unmanageable, some people be like, how do your life become unmanageable? I just mentioned it. If you don't go to work on time, if you at the dope house at 5 and you got to be at work at 5:15, if you on lunch break and you got the liquor bottle in your back seat, if you got to smoke before you go to work, smoke during work, smoke after work, if you spend your whole check Friday, Monday morning as for gas money, your life unmanageable. Your life is unmanageable. You know what I mean? But we still, as addicts, we try to justify. Man, I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna do good this week. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing this week. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna eat breakfast every day. I'm gonna take my lunch. Friday come. That's been in one ear and out the other. You already got it on your phone. You gonna call, and you do it again. It's that cycle. You do it again. You do it again. That's that unmanageability. It just keeps going because we never want to break the cycle. We might chill for about a month, get our weight back up, get the bags to go down up under our eyes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Try to be an effective employee, but we still ain't let go of the thoughts. We still ain't let go of the people. We still ain't let go of the places that we go. You know how you can sit at home and be like, man, it's boring. Man, it's boring, man. It's boring. Man, I wonder what Joe Blow doing. I ain't gonna call him. I ain't gonna call him. I ain't gonna call him. 2 days go by, 3 days go by, they call you. Man, what you doing? Chilling on it, man. Man, come get me, come get me, man. I got everything. There it is. I got everything. When it's free, that's when it's the worst. When it's free, that's when it's the worst. I can remember before my recovery, how I was trying to stay away, and it seemed like it would always come plentiful. The powder would come in big quantities, the whack would come in big quantities, all that. And I'm like, where y'all getting it from? Where's all the money coming from? And I'm like, I still got my money. How am I getting so high? But we gotta remember, man, we got an adversary. The devil is. What the book say? Cunning, baffling. And man, he a snagger tooth, no good. Man, the devil, hey, man. When we learn how to battle with him, it don't become as easy as we think it is, but it becomes better. That's why I chose to roll with the Lord Jesus Christ. Because I know I couldn't do it by myself. Even when I go to NA, when I first got in NA, my first 90 days, I was chairing meetings. Then when I was chairing meetings, I was in group every day. But I still said I need something because They would tell me, the thoughts gonna be there, D-Train. That's what they used to call it, D-Train. The thoughts gonna be there, but you can't get rid of the thoughts. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to act on the thoughts. What I need to do? So the deeper I got in the church, man, the more the thoughts start going away. And so I started reading the Bible even more. When I was in rehab, I stayed in rehab 7 days. And in them 7 days, I read nothing but Proverbs. I was locked up 6 years. I read the Bible twice, and it was like a novel. But when I was in that rehab for 7 days and I read Proverbs, man, it was like the Bible. It was like jumping off the page. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not to my own understanding, but trust in the Lord with all my heart. Trust in the Lord with all my heart. What does that mean? Trust in the Lord with all my heart. That means with everything I got. Even when I think about something, I need to go to him first. Even when I assume something, I need to go to him first. But I didn't know that at first. I thought I was just, oh, that sounds fly, trusting the Lord with all my heart. Sound like a ball a little bit, so I'm like, okay. But it's not until my mind got clear. I began to understand what the words were saying. Like they say, in all I get an understanding. That's what everything you do. Even with the blue book in Narcotic Anonymous, I can't really quote the blue book like I do with the Bible. However, I can always reflect and go to it because there are some things in there that stand out, like the third step prayer. Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, show me how to live. Show me how to live. That's something when a grown man or woman have to say, show me how to live. When you get to that point, that means you just didn't know how. Didn't know how to live, didn't know how to get right. And I am one to say that I didn't get it right. My kids hate me. Them two little girls over there. Oh man, I done had them at the trap. I done had them in spots where they done had to duck down. Y'all duck down. Let me go up in here. I'll be right back. They duck down. Y'all go over there to the park. I'm over on the other side. And I'm like, man, how did I ever do them like that? So for them, though, I always want to come to my house and I always want to be with their daddy and want to run when they see daddy. That's good. That's all caps good. Capital G, capital O, capital D. You know what I mean? Because recovery, man, I never thought it would be like this. I never thought it would be this amazing. I never thought it would be this enduring. And I'm glad we don't graduate from it. I'm glad I don't get no certificate because this is something that I got to deal with for the rest of my life. Because if I ever get comfortable, I know I'm back inside Dallas. No question. So I gotta stay with it. I gotta stay connected. I gotta stay motivated, and I gotta be a motivator. You know what I'm saying? The thing that excites me the most is when I go into the rooms and I see people's lives change. When I first went in there, man, I really didn't know what to think. All I heard was keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. I'm like, for what? What I keep coming back for? How's a room full of dope fiends gonna keep me clean? How's that gonna happen? Everybody in here doing something. How am I gonna stay clean, man? We all in here messed up. Then when you start hearing them stories, and then you start making friendships, and then you hear how somebody was sleeping behind 7-Eleven, now they own about 2, 3 houses. How you see somebody was getting rides from group, now coming to a group in Mercedes Benz. So they say our public relations is based on attraction rather than promotion. Sometimes the folks didn't even have to say nothing. You can just look at them and you stay in the room. That's why they say don't leave until the miracle happens. You keep coming back, you'll see that same person that came in there looking like they didn't have nothing. In a minute, they gonna have a whole lot. Wow, they kept coming back. They kept going. So once I grab on that, I'm like, okay, this recovery thing might be a little something. But I still want it more. I still want it more. No matter how, I'm working on, I got 3 years, 6 months, 3 years, 6 months, 19, 20, 20, 23 days. So, and just finished step 5, got to process it. Just did step 5. Step 5 really broke me off some. Step 5 is the reason why I don't mind sharing anymore. Step 5 taught me to be honest with myself. I couldn't continue to go on without admitting the exact nature of my wrongs. You know, as much as I preach, as much as I talk, as much as I say this, there are some things that I was still dealing with. And in order to complete that step, I had to be honest with myself. Honest and tell myself that, boy, you selfish. You think you God sometimes. You always trying to change somebody. You can't change nobody. Like when I'm telling y'all about the movie Notorious, how Puffy told me, how can you change the world if you can't change yourself? You gotta start with the man in the mirror, man. You gotta stop trying to change everybody. Everybody not going where God trying to take you. I didn't want to accept that though. I was like, no, but I like her. I like her though. I want to, I like her. If she keep hanging with me, she gonna start reading the Bible. She gonna go to church. She gonna go to church. She sleep hanging with me. Never have God say, boy, oh ye of little faith. How you won't believe in me? So I really had to work it, man. I really had to work it out. And it made me realize that this is a great journey to be on because it's making me a better man. It's making me a better father. It's making me a better reverend because all I want to do is be 100. Tell the butt nigga truth, like we say in Narcotic Anonymous. I'm for real because how is anybody gonna know that God is real if I'm sugarcoating? You know what I mean? How anybody gonna know that I've been delivered if I don't tell you what I've been delivered from? And if I've been delivered from something, I don't know what everybody's dealing with, but if you're dealing with something, if you heard my story, you can be like, if that God that he served is that good, I want what he got. I say, God, you know what I mean? The avenue that I chose is through Jesus Christ. Jesus said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. I believe that with my heart. I don't know what everybody believes. I know what I chose to believe. I chose to believe that when I was down there trying to kill myself, when I thought that everything was over with, I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know what to believe. I couldn't get high no more, couldn't get drunk no more. Y'all, I had smoked 4 bottles of PCP, about me 2 dimes of powder, pulled over to the park and off of Loop 12. It's a little park down there before you go to Pleasant Road. Sat down there, did all of it by myself, and was still girl. Still girl. I'm like, man, what's going on? And if anybody, it was that piss. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, what's going on? So I called my aunt. And told her, man, hey, I gotta go. I don't like this. I gotta go. So I went to her house and I was dealing with a chick. And I was dealing with a chick that she was feeding it to me. So when I got to my aunt's house, it was like the devil and God doing me like this. She was pulling me. My auntie was pulling me. She was pulling me. My auntie was pulling me. Well, my auntie said, Deja, if you get back in that car, don't come to my house. No more. I felt it because I already lost my mom and my granny. My auntie was the only one that was near that I had. So that night, the drugs kicked in, the paranoia, the skits in, it all kicked in. So I walked out the back door, went to Clarendon, went to the creek, and tried to jump in the creek. Took my shoe off, felt the water. It had just rained, but I couldn't do it. I tried 3 times, but I couldn't do it. Nobody would have known. I would have drowned. Nobody would have known. But when the sun came up, and I know with my spiritual mind today, I'm able to say that it wasn't the S-U-N that saved me. It was the S-O-N that saved me. You know, and once it happened, I just threw my hands up. I give. I give it up, Lord. I give it up right now. the women, the drugs, the frivolous living. I give it up right now. Whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it wholeheartedly. As soon as I did that, I called, turned my phone back on. I called my auntie, told my auntie, take me to the rehab. She took my key, they did all the thing, and I ain't turned back since. But what I had to do, surrender. Everybody, I don't want to say that everybody find their bottom, but somebody told me you got to find your bottom. I don't know what your bottom is. Sometimes we don't know what our bottom is. But at the bottom, that's where we find out that God is the rock at the bottom. Because it's at that bottom where you don't got nobody to turn to but him. You done tried everything else. I know I did. I tried everything. But the day I tried Jesus, man, the day I said, I give. Bro, I got my own crib. I drive truck. When they said I couldn't drive trucks no more because of my DWI, and I got on my license, man. The job that I got now, it said, man, Mr. Brian, you got PCP on your license. What is that? You got cocaine on your license, man. What is that? I said, sir, I was a bad guy. A couple of years ago, I was a bad guy. That used to be me. However, if you just give me an opportunity, I will be an effective employee for the company. He said, well, we want you to go to a substance abuse program. I said, man, how much that cost? He said, it cost 500 and something like that. He said, I said, man, I don't have the money. He said, you don't want the job. You got to come with the money. So I came with money. Been driving trucks ever since. So basically, man, what I'm saying, man, you got to be grateful and be thankful that we all get another chance. I'm a living witness that all you got to do is want to. That's the key word. Just want to do it. It ain't gonna be easy. It's not gonna be a cakewalk, and it ain't gonna happen overnight. The only thing the good Lord wants us to do, man, is keep going. And I encourage anybody, man, if you don't have a personal relationship with your higher power, whoever your higher power may choose to be, find God. All you got to do is find Him. That's it. That's all I have for tonight, man. Before we go, I pray that what I said, I pray that the story I shared enlighten anybody who still want to offer an invitation to Christ. Anybody, if you kind of confused, if you want to know what's going on, if you still want to try, you still got an opportunity right now. If anybody else.